Okay, hello. I'm going to review the Obrian, Partin, and Higgins family galleries, and I haven't looked at them yet. I'm just going to go through and talk out loud about what my first thoughts are. Um, if I see things that are like great, I'll point it out. It's usually easier to point out the things that need to be improved just because they glare out. But I'm just going to word vomit so you just know where I'm at. Here we go. Okay, Obrian family. Okay, I like the vibrancy. Like, they're much brighter. I do think that the color now, at least on my screen, is a little too orange and a little too red. It's a little too warm. But I'd rather have that than too cold. It's just here around his face. It does look more consistent, which is great. My first thoughts are that here it's still a little too dark. Like, this photo is just, especially compared to like this, so bright, so orange, and this is a little too cool. Those are hard to match, but we're closer than we were before, which is awesome. Okay, these tree colors here, I like the vibrancy in the forest. It's nice and glowy in the trees. That's great. Here you can have that kind of yellowy tone I was talking about in the green, which I like. I'm a little nervous that the tree bark here and here, it's a little too dark. Like, we disappear into the shadows a little too much. And maybe that's because there's too much red. Like, too much red in the skin and too much red in the bark. And I'd rather have them be a little bit more neutral, almost beige. Not all the way beige, but just like more yellowy beige than reddy orange. Also, like, cropping on the edge of this tree here, because over here is just kind of distracting, and his face is right in the middle, and we could probably crop in the tree and have a cleaner line and have his face be at a better spot. Yeah, I'd say overall it's just a little too orange saturated and a little too dark on the shadows. But that's good. All right, let's move on to this one. Okay. Same thing here. I'm noticing their hair is like, and the yellow is like a little too bright, but overall, like, wow, okay, it's so much better than last time. There's definitely more of a consistency. I like the color of like the sky being gray and then popping off. I feel like that's just a lot better. It looks crisp. It looks really good. A little bit dark here just compared to, like, see how dark the sky is and then see how bright it is. We're so much closer, though. That's not a problem in terms of, like, we can totally give these to the clients. I'm just being really picky now and thinking, like, that one's a little bit too dark. I know the lighting on this shoe is really hard. A little dark on her eyes. We could, like, brighten up with, like, a brush there. I haven't gone back and looked at the original, so it's hard to know, like, how you chose to cull and which photos. I can guess Mom's probably not going to like how she looks there, but that's more my problem in taking the right photo than yours in editing it. Down here, the skin's looking a little bit red, and it could look a little brighter and creamier. And her face, see, it's like a dark shadow rather than this one over here, which is so glowy. So it's a little, I want her eyes to be brighter. Again, these families didn't pay full price, so I'm okay with them getting stuff that's, like, not quite perfect. If this was a full paying shoot, though, I would give most of these to the clients, but, like, this one would definitely have to be brighter. Same with this one. Like, they're kind of just, like, lost in the shadows. And these are great. They're bright. Maybe a little bit warm. A little bit warm. It's hard. Overall, though, I'm happy. That looks greater. Greater than it was before. Okay, overall, yes. Looking good. Okay, the top ones I like. As we get down here, it gets a little too dark, and she's like a little red. I want her to be more, same thing across the board, I think. Skin just needs to be a little brighter, and especially when they're in the shady places, like undercover, it needs to be a little brighter. These, like, I like all these. These are great. Okay. When the photos are so busy, like going down the stairs, we want to have something pop because there's so much going on. So we want to make sure they know where to look, or like, you know, the viewer of the photo knows where to look. So I probably increase the saturation or something so that these signs popped off more, or increase the clarity maybe so they're more like punchy. It's hard to say exactly. And then the shadows here can be a little dark, kind of like in the trees. Maybe just pulling up the shadows a little bit so when so much of the photo is dark, it feels a little bit softer. And I know I told you to cull down and give less, which is great. I feel like this is a better amount to give. When they want headshots, I think we do want to give them a few more options, though, because they're going to be limited. They'll be like, oh, no, we only have one to choose from. And we don't know which expressions they like of themselves. So I would usually give at least maybe 3. You know, 3 or 4 to choose from, 1 horizontal, 1 vertical. And then also pay attention to things like here at the bottom. You can see that cropped. It's hard. That's kind of my fault, too. But her head is right in the middle. We'd want to give them more of a, have their face on the thirds. It's tricky. I don't really like doing headshots for people, so it's kind of like, there you go. Hopefully that works for you guys. It looks a little bit blurry. Is that my fault, or is the editing that way? It looks blurry or grainy, or like the sharpness has been increased in a weird way. Like, I know maybe it was also in the dark, kind of bad lighting, so whatever. There's only one photo that's black and white. Usually I want to deliver more than that. Like if I deliver a gallery that has, let's say, 100 photos, there's usually 15 to 20 that are white, or black and white, just so it's not like some random one. Also, the black and white, see, look, is there something in the quality of the export? Like the photos look a little grainy. It looks like it was taken on a lower quality camera than what I shoot on. Like my photos are normally very, very crisp, so I'm confused why they have this grain. It might be maybe too much grain in the editing, or are you exporting at a lower setting? Like it needs to be 300 DPI. Yeah, it's looking really compressed. Compared to, like, let's go to the website really quick. It should be very crisp. I don't know if you can see that through here, but like, to me, these look very crisp. And that looks just kind of blurry. Which makes me think it's something happening in the editing or the export. I'd say overall, you know, the clients might not notice because it is such a, they're going to be like, oh, beautiful photos, my kids look cute, these are better than the ones I could take. So we're getting, you know, we're kind of passing by. But let's keep striving for just like incredible, so that other photographers have their minds blown. So like look into those issues that I talked about and let me know if you have any ideas of why these might be happening. Also on this, like totally crop out that tent so that it's just clean city behind, because if it's cropped out then it can be really pretty, and if there's a tent there it's like, what the fuck is a tent doing in my photo? Alright, overall though, so good, so much better than last time. I'm excited to see what you do next, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much. Thanks.